Aita? For not letting my brother-in-law see my girls after he called CPS on me. I F33 lost my husband in an accident and he passed away shortly after he arrived at the hospital. We have two girls who are 9 and 5 and it's been very devastating and very difficult to be taking care of them while going through these tough times. My mom would help a lot and I'm so thankful for that. My in-laws have been keeping to themselves but my brother-in-law would visit often to see the girls. He has always wanted kids on his own but hasn't been able to because his wife has medical issues. He treats my girls well and has been generous but treats me poorly and makes comments and criticizes my parenting often. He implied he wanted to be their guardian but I told him no. He started demanding I bring the girls over to my in-laws' house and would get upset when I tell him I have work. He'd claim I'm clearly not taking care of the girls and don't fit to be a single parent. We got into a huge argument after I told him I no longer will be welcoming him into my house because of his behavior. And he either reported me to CPS after I refused to let him into my house. He claimed that I'm not taking good care of my girls' needs / refusing to let them see their grandparents / being busy with work and other things I don't know about. I had to deal with CPS once then after they did a surprise visit and thank goodness it went well, although I was told to deal with some issues that are normal in every family. Told my in-laws about what my brother-in-law did but didn't do anything. His wife was the one who told me eventually. It's been over a month now. My in-laws are calling to tell me that I should let my brother see the girls after I told them that only them see my girls. I refused to let him see the girls after what he did and the disrespect he shown, but my in-laws are pressuring me saying these are their granddaughters and I have no right to act like this just out of spite. Edit to say that the issues I'm dealing with are trying to balance my working hours with the time I spend with the girls. I have my mom either come over or take them to her house so I could pick them up after I get off work. Another thing is therapy and my girls are currently in therapy. I'm trying to take it slow but it's just so overwhelming and then to have to deal with my brother-in-law's behavior is just a lot for me and there isn't anything more. I want them to spend time with my girls but I have to work since no one is willing to help with anything. I'm not the person who feels comfortable asking for help so I do all I can. My brother-in-law says he wants to see the girls because it's been a while since he saw them and he misses them a lot but I don't want him around after what he did. I can't even look at him after this. He made my grief worse and I won't be able to forgive him soon. NTA. Protect your girls. If your in-laws don't like it, they can also kick rocks. You're the parent. I'm so sorry for your loss. I know this must be difficult and I wish you the best. NTA. The boy who cries wolf, who implies he wants to be your kid's guardian. He has no rights to see your kids. CPS is there to protect children, not to waste time as his tool. See a lawyer. Have a plan for the next time they call CPS on you. If you want to see these grieving yet unsupportive in-laws, have a couple of witnesses with you. You might need them. Consider visits in a neutral setting. Your house is your house. Keep it safe. NTA. None of your in-laws have any rights to see your child, and your brother-in-law was literally trying to take your kids away from you. To be honest, I would never let your brother-in-law lay eyes on your kids again after the bogus CPS call. NTA. He called CPS on you. Don't listen to anyone, seriously. If he was willing to do something so serious over something so small, I wouldn't trust him near my kids. Who knows what he will tell them / manipulate them. And for them to say she's acting out of spite. Dude, if you try to break my ribs with a baseball bat and I stop hanging out with you as a result, it's not spite that's motivating me, it's sheer concern for my own safety. This is not the last time they'll try pulling this bullshit. There is a fundamental lack of respect happening here. Aita for telling a woman where my baby came from. I'm 27F. An Indian American woman. I was born and raised in America. A large majority of my childhood friends are Indian and I love to catch up with them. I'm the first of my friend group to have a baby. I was expected to be the last to have one, but life happens. I love her very very much and she's the main focus of my friend group. Her father, 38M, is white and my baby looks predominantly white. For reference, my skin is tan and lighter than some of my friends, but I still look very Indian. My friend friends and I decided to have an outdoor lunch together for the first time since February. I take COVID very seriously because of my baby, now 6 months. But the cases in our area are very low and we all agreed to go to a place with less crowd. We were very safe. My friends and I were all sitting at a table and were having a great time. A white family later came to sit next to our table, still pretty far from us. More than 6 feet. My baby was laughing pretty loudly and babbling. She was being the happy little baby that she is. I had dressed her up in a lavender dress and she was wearing a little matching bonnet. A lady from that family noticed us and walked over to us, without a mask and pretty close to me and my baby. I immediately started to put a mask on my baby. She started talking to me and complimented my baby and then asked me where she came from. Her exact words were, "How cute. That baby is just adorable. I just want to eat that little face up." Where did she come from? I was so confused and put off by that question. I didn't know what she was talking about and my immediate response was well, my vagina. My friends all looked so confused and irritated and we were just super awkward. The lady was offended and told me that I could have just told her that my baby was mine and I didn't have to be so rude. She then huffed off and my friends and I were left pretty angry and confused. We carried on with our lunch and then when we were leaving, the lady's husband and son walked up toward us and told us that we disrespected her and asked us if we had any lessons in basic manners. We didn't say anything to them because frankly, we were scared. I'm putting this story here because I want to know if what I said was wrong and if I brought this situation on myself. Aita, edit. Wow, I'm overwhelmed with the response. I showed this post to my friends and we all laughed at some of the replies. In regards to my baby and the mask, I'm a new mother and I'm young, please cut me some slack. My boyfriend is the one who's the baby expert and I try my best to keep up. I tried to do what was best to protect the baby but I hear that I was wrong. Baby doesn't go out at all except to doctor visits and I only put a mask on her because of how close the lady was. NTA, this kind of thing has happened in my family constantly. My mother's side are Indian, my father, and many spouses to my mother's family, are white. Some examples include, /mother picking me, completely white appearance, up from school, 30 years ago mind you, and being asked if she was the nanny. /my cousin having a coffee with her father and an older woman coming over and calling him a pervert. I guess she thought they were a couple. /another cousin's wife being asked where she got her Chinese baby, her response was more direct than yours. Along with the constant assumptions that I'm adopted and don't know it. I'm not, I'm just a clone of my dad. Your response was perfect. Let these people be embarrassed by their racist bias. When I read the title, I thought to myself, please tell me this lady said my vagina and you did. Haha. NTA at all. You are wonderful. NTA. Great reply to her, and factually correct. If that insulted them they are morons. What other response was she expecting? Found her in a dumpster? There was a sale at Penny's? She assumed the child you arrived with and were holding for the entire event wasn't yours. She asked them where they came from. Given the age of your baby, that question was 100% directed at you. Disgusting. NTA, the racism is strong with this one. Aita, for planning to go to the funeral of the man who essentially saved my life in prison. I spent 6 years in prison and I have been out 8. When I was in prison, I met a man, Scott, who had already been in there for 15 years. He was very much respected by most of the prison and almost everybody left him alone. For some reason, he ended up taking a liking to me and he helped me navigate the prison scene and gave me some really good advice on how to stay out of trouble. He essentially became the father that I never really had, without sounding too corny. The prison that I was in was super rough and without his advice I don't know that I would have made it out. He got out just before I did. When I got out I got my shit together and eventually met my now wife. We have a son together who is now 4. I heard last week that Scott has passed away. I was super upset and knew that I had to go to his funeral to pay my respects. I confirmed with Scott's daughter, who I've met before, that it was okay if I attended. Due to COVID restrictions, only a certain number of people can attend. My wife of course knows about my time in prison and Scott. I told her that he had died and that I was planning on going to his funeral. She got upset with me and told me that I have a family now and that I should be focusing on my family, not people I knew in prison. I told her I wouldn't be here without Scott helping me, but she refused to agree with me. Aita for planning to go to the funeral? Nata, I'm confused about why she would be mad about this. I guess that to her, it's like revisiting my past life which I fought hard to get away from. NTA, it's actually very strange to me your wife would say something like this in response of you losing someone who was important in your life regardless of circumstances. I'm sorry for your loss. NTA, he was an important person in your life and had a positive effect on your life. Your wife is in the wrong to try and deny you the chance for you to pay your last respects to him. To me that's like saying I can't go to my father's or best friend's funeral because I have a wife and kids. There's no logic to her argument. NTA, you're just paying your respects to someone who meant a lot to you. It's not like you're going to, I don't know, hang out with people who always get you in trouble or have a bad influence on you. You're just going to a funeral. I feel like your wife might think that everyone who goes to prison is a bad person. This guy helped you out and made you want to get your life together. I feel like it would be disrespectful to not go.